Hello, partners. In our last report, we explored some of the better known aspects of the amazing career of General Douglas MacArthur. In this report, let's delve more into his background and learn more about this amazing man. General Douglas MacArthur was what we call a military brat. Now, you see, he was born into a military family. Military brat. As a matter of fact, his birth early in 1888 took place inside a military barracks in Little Rock, Arkansas. That's right. The future general was the son of a U.S. Army Captain, Arthur MacArthur, Jr. His grandfather was born in Scotland and served with distinction during the American Civil War, fighting for the Union Army. Young Douglas MacArthur moved a lot as a child because his dad kept getting reassigned to different places. Much of his childhood was spent in isolated outposts in what was still a part of the American Wild West. MacArthur wrote in a memoir about his youth, quoting, "I learned to ride and shoot even before I could read or write. Indeed, almost before I could walk and talk." This is General Douglas MacArthur. MacArthur ended his time in the middle of nowhere when his family moved to Washington, D.C. in 1899. Eventually, young Douglas entered the West Texas Military Academy. It was not long before the teachers began to see in this young Douglas MacArthur a child with great potential. Within a year, MacArthur had won a medal for scholarship and personal behavior. He excelled in baseball and football. Partners, by his senior year, he was the football team's quarterback. He was the valedictorian when he graduated. And get this, partners, Douglas MacArthur graduated with a grade point average of 97.33% out of 100. 97.33% out of 100. Now, partners, in spite of how well the young Douglas MacArthur did in high school, he didn't automatically get accepted at West Point. No, you'd think that because his dad was a military man and his great grades that MacArthur would be a shoo-in. But it ended up taking a long time and a lot of requests before he was admitted. As you might expect, Douglas MacArthur was a great student and athlete at West Point, and he was quite a reader. He told a reporter later that a lot of his success in modern-day warfare was based on his understanding of the battles fought by the Romans and other famous leaders over the centuries. Think of that. Oh, I wish I could have read like he did when I was a little boy. In 1903, Douglas MacArthur graduated from West Point. Imagine this, top of his class, with the third best academic record of any cadet in the school's history. As Douglas MacArthur quickly rose through the ranks in the early part of the last century, MacArthur was called upon for a variety of special duties. And partners, here is a lost part of Douglas MacArthur's life. It happened in 1928, when the world was putting itself back together after the ravages of the First World War. They held the Olympic Games that summer. Many countries barely were able to get a team together because of being slow to come from under the war and because of the international depression that was sweeping the globe. But America did manage to get an Olympic team together. Did they manage to get a team together? Hey, as a matter of fact, the U.S. Olympic team won a total of 280 medals, the most of any nation there. Now, who do you suppose was the spearhead behind the U.S. team? I know you're all screaming out, Douglas MacArthur. Well, good old Douglas MacArthur was the guy. He was asked to take time out from his military duties to make sure that all went well for the United States. And it really did. The United States was so professional at the games in 1928 that the International Olympic Committee awarded the 1932 games to Los Angeles. Hey, I don't know about you, but I had never heard of the tie-in between MacArthur and the Olympic Games. You see, partners, MacArthur was a true patriot in many, many ways. And next week, with the help of my writer and researcher Dennis Daly, we'll wrap up a 3-week series on the man some say was the American Caesar. Okay, now you know the drill. Look up there and see those 3 boxes at the right side. Farthest one to the right has a red X in it, and all you do is just click that box, nothing else, and you'll go right back to my report page. As always, thanks, Dennis, for the great words about Douglas MacArthur. I enjoy talking about him. I'll be glad to finish next week. I love you. Go get 'em, Tigers!